Hello everyone and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today wherever you are in this great world. We're going to talk about XRP, and once again I'm showing you the 4-hour chart. The reason I keep doing this is because I want to keep you positive in what you hold. I want to keep you optimistic to where we're going from here. As long as we're going sideways, I'm not worried about XRP. I'm waiting for that massive move to the upside to happen, and I definitely think it's coming. So could XRP rally to $20,000? Pundit makes case with interesting insights. Now, I want to say this right out of the gate. I don't think XRP is going to hit $20,000. However, the person that is talking about this makes a good point. He talks about exactly what XRP is built for. So the creative director contends that banks require privacy for internal ledger transactions, and XRP was never intended for public retail trading. Instead, he speculates that banks will create private XRP ledgers and issue their derivatives, similar to how central banks hold gold as a backing asset. Steingraber theorizes that XRP could become a reserve currency asset, with banks creating their derivatives on the XRP ledger. For instance, Bank of America could issue BOA coin on the XRP ledger, using XRP as a reserve asset to back it up. Internal transactions among banks and institutional-grade liquidity providers would rely on XRP to facilitate the exchanges between these private coins. According to him, this case of private mass adoption would catalyze the $20,000 goal. In this scenario, XRP's value would be tied to its pivotal role in enabling cross-border transfers for major financial institutions, making it an indispensable and highly sought-after asset. Major financial players, including large banking corporations, could leverage the asset. Honestly, he's talking about exactly what XRP is built for. It's going to move value from one bank to another. So I don't think he's that far off in saying this. However, I still think we need to get to $1 first. Then we'll start talking about $100. Then we'll start talking about $500 and $1,000 and so on. But he is definitely right on the money with this one, because he's explaining exactly what XRP is built for. And we're going to talk about XRP being a high-valued stablecoin in this video as well. U.S. Congressional Committee approves crypto bill for regulation. In the United States, lobbyists and investors in the crypto sector have been advocating for increased regulatory clarity. Their efforts seem to be paying off, as a proposed bill led by Republicans has received approval from the House Financial Services Committee with a vote count of 35 to 15. The bill, approved by the House Financial Services Committee, aims to establish clear criteria for categorizing crypto assets as either securities or commodities. Additionally, it seeks to enhance the Commodity Futures Trading Commission's regulatory authority over the crypto industry and provide more clarity on the jurisdiction of the SEC. This specifically targets the concern expressed by numerous crypto advocates regarding the regulators' perceived overreach. So that bill is now moving on. Hopefully it gets passed at some point, because it's pulling power away from Gary Gensler and putting it in the hands of the CFTC, which I think is much better at regulating crypto. Plus, the CFTC will keep me and you involved in crypto going forward, the retail investor. Now take a listen to what Tom Emmer had to say.
Regulatory Certainty Act is going to be marked up in the Financial Services Committee. Crypto and blockchain technology provide an important opportunity for our country to lead in the digital asset space. I commend Chair McHenry for moving forward with this. Today, we've got an important opportunity to make progress towards providing regulatory certainty that benefits consumers and fosters innovation right here at home. This bill specifically deals with what blockchain-related entities qualify as money transmitters across the country. Major discrepancies in the state-by-state framework on this issue have stifled innovation and confused the marketplace on how to comply with money transmission requirements. The Blockchain Regulatory Certainty Act will clear things up by affirming for the blockchain community that if you don't custody consumer funds, you aren't a money transmitter. It's simple, but very important. A clear and consistent regulatory landscape will ensure we do not drive this transformative technology overseas or drive American consumers to bad actors. This bill will allow blockchain innovation to flourish right here in the U.S., and I look forward to continuing to work with my colleagues on the committee to get it over the finish line. And with that, I turn.
Now, if this bill gets passed, that's the beginning of 99% of crypto going to zero. And it's going to leave us with a handful of cryptocurrencies. Real-world use case cryptocurrencies with utility. But you take notice how they're also looking out for the retail investor at the same time. Now, this I had to share with you because Patrick McHenry calls Tom Emmer an OG. Take a listen.
From the moment my colleague came to Congress, he was a committed advocate for a smart regulatory pathway for digital assets. He's an OG to this space, and has been, since I've known him, even before being a member of Congress, he's been a leader in this space. We are at the culmination of years of work that he has been about in a piece of legislation that is a culmination of his work. Others have joined along the way. Mr. Davidson certainly has, Mr. Hill, Ms. Waters. But I know the OG in this space is Tom Emmer, and I want to thank you for your leadership, not just on the market structure bill and this important bill, but generally speaking for digital assets. Thank you for yielding the time. And
thank you, and I yield back.
Gentleman yields back.
I thought that was great. I wanted to share it with all of you. You know, if it wasn't for people like Tom Emmer and Patrick McHenry, this space would be doomed because Maxine Waters would make sure that the power stays in the hands of the SEC. And this is what Gary Gensler has to say. He says, crypto is rife with fraud. He's still maintaining all of that same rhetoric that he's been maintaining for a long period of time now, so he could continue to shake down the crypto space. Once again, that is why the win for Ripple was so big, because that was a game changer inside of crypto. Sam Bankman-Fried donated $93 million in stolen customer funds to U.S. politicians. Today, the U.S. government dropped a political campaign finance criminal charge against Sam Bankman-Fried. So again, this guy's getting a free pass as well. And he robbed everyday people that work hard for their money. That's who he robbed. This guy belongs in jail. But once again, he's going to get a free pass because of people like Maxine Waters. Remember her blowing the kiss at Sam Bankman-Fried? That was her way of saying, listen, Sam, everything's going to be fine moving forward. We're going to make sure that FTX stays up and running. But guess what happened next? FTX collapsed out. Sam Bankman-Fried got arrested. And now Maxine Waters is probably running all over Washington, making sure the charges get dropped against this guy. It's absolutely horrific. This guy needs to be in jail. He should not have any free pass given. Now take a listen to this. So commodity-backed stablecoins. It's stable because the value of it represents 1 ounce of gold. This is Warren Davidson. Take a listen.
That in the market today, there are commodity-backed stablecoins. So in the absence of regulation by the federal government, the New York Department of Financial Services, for example, has recognized commodity-backed stablecoins. And commodity-backed stablecoins, to be clear, are a little different than what we think of as dollar-denominated stablecoins. So if you had a commodity-backed stablecoin backed by gold, it's stable because the value of it represents 1 ounce of gold. In the case of New York Department of Financial Services, they regulate a commodity-backed stablecoin backed by gold and they have the entity offering it has physical custody of gold that is audited in conformance with the process laid out by this bill. And so I hope that we can get there. I'm thankful to be working with Mr. Himes for a possible amendment moving forward that would account for commodity-backed stablecoins. As part of our conversation, Mr. Himes has agreed to consider a regulatory regime for certain tokens that are backed by gold to make sure that one token equates to the promised amount of gold from the issuer. These would not be denominated in dollars, but would be redeemable for a fixed amount of the underlying commodity. And we're working on that language because that's a little different than the way that New York DFS has it. We would also allow for these coins to be brought under the state framework of the bill, which is the status quo. And state regulators would oversee the licensing and examination of these coins.
How close do you think we are to this becoming reality? That's the big question. Remember, this was what we were always taught in the crypto space, that Ripple would be backed by gold, XRP would be backed by gold, XLM would be backed by silver, XDC, copper, algo, palladium, iota, iridium. And now that you hear that coming out of his mouth, I don't think we're that far off from this anymore. You know, I was probably one of the first people to tell you XRP doesn't need to be gold backed. I still think it's going to be backed by real world assets once tokenization really starts to amp up. But again, what's your opinion on this? Because we now see them pushing ahead, trying to get framework put in place and laws put in place around stablecoins all of a sudden. And we know the IMF has already talked about XRP and XLM as being backed by something. So stablecoin refers to a class of digital currencies which are relatively stable in terms of their price. Stablecoins offer instantaneous processing and security of payments, as many cryptocurrencies do. They also offer stability with respect to their parity against fiat currencies. Two digital currencies that fall into this category are RippleNet's native digital currency, XRP, and Stellar Network's native cryptocurrency, the Stellar Lumen, XLM. Both Ripple and Stellar enable faster and more efficient cross-border payments relative to correspondent banking. So in the future, now this comes from the IMF, this comes from the BIS, it comes from the European Central Bank. It's just a matter of time, in my opinion, until this becomes reality. Because everything that we ever were taught that was a conspiracy theory is little by little becoming fact. And I've been doing a lot of videos on that lately. I'm sure most of you noticed that. And the reason I'm doing that is because I'm trying to point out to you, you know, everything that we were ever told that would never come to fact is little by little becoming fact. So I think we are closer to XRP being a high-valued backed stablecoin of the future. I think we're closer now than ever before. Same thing with XLM. Same thing with XDC. Look what's going on around XDC right now. You have digital trade going live over in the EU and the UK. Soon that's going to come to the United States as well. Every single country is going to go digital with trade. They have to. That's what's going to fix the supply chain. It's going to speed everything up. And there's no alternative to XDC. That's why I always said diversify in crypto. Hold a little bit of every one of these cryptocurrencies. Each one has its own separate use case, but each one can set you financially free. Then there's this. Here we go, folks. Hundreds of youth voluntarily lining up to have their eyeballs scanned with a WorldCoin orb to get their new digital ID with free money WorldCoins in their new digital wallet. This is exactly how CBDC will be rolled out globally. And I mean, these people are lined up and giving away their identity right now for free. And you know, anybody that promises somebody even a couple dollars, they will line up for this in the street. And yet people in the crypto space said nobody's ever going to voluntarily get hooked up to a CBDC. Nobody's ever going to take a social credit score or a digital ID. The hell they won't. These people will line up down the street for it because these people are still asleep. The reason you see through something like this is because you've been invested in crypto for quite a while now. So everything that you've learned along the way is leading up to exactly that. A CBDC, a digital ID, and a social credit score. And before you know it, you're a slave to the system and you're on the universal basic monthly income. And that's right there is why it's so important to keep holding on to your XRP for dear life. You need to set yourself financially free before it's too late. And you know, in today's video, when I first started this video, back when I was talking about the $20,000 XRP, I don't think that guy's too far off with that. But I don't think we're going to hit 20K. However, in the short term, I think XRP, if that was to play out the way he's describing it, I think we could hit 589 faster than people think, because a lot of value is going to be moving on the XRP ledger using XRP as like the backing for those coins that the banks will issue amongst themselves. In the background, most of us probably won't know about those coins right out of the gate. We'll find out about them later, you know, but I'm speculating a little bit. And, you know, I always am open to your opinions. So definitely put your opinions in the comments section down below. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.